Hello, everyone. Through the Just BS 101 series, I am making an honest attempt to share a few snippets of my learnings from the business of sports. Today, let's talk about something that's been the talk of the town for the past year or two: generative AI. We've all used ChatGPT, Gemini, or many other tools that are now available online. But the real question of interest for us is, how can generative AI impact the world of sports fan engagement? And let's try to explore this from the very bare basics. If we think of it from the point of view of a sports organization, what are the objectives of fan engagement? We can broadly think of them in three phases: the onboarding of fans, the engagement of these fans, and then the monetization of fans. Now, how can generative AI transform each of these three phases? Let's have a look. Starting with phase one, the onboarding of fans. Now, there could be multiple different applications of GenAI, be it for this phase or any of the other phases. But the idea is to only think of the top two or three most natural, most obvious ones that come to mind. The first example here would be fan onboarding bots. We've all experienced chatbots in some shape and form. For example, your food delivery customer support these days. Generative AI can take this conversation to the next level by adding a lot more context, a lot more personalization to it. Second, SEO optimization at scale. So let's say we are a sports website that wants to publish 1,000 or 2,000 articles per month. How do we ensure each of these articles has content that is compatible to SEO that will help us further the discoverability of the whole website? We could do that by having a separate team in place that works day in and day out to do this. Or we could use generative AI and train the model over time to churn out content that's already SEO optimized. Thirdly, we could think of video content maximization. Many sports organizations, especially rights holders, have a huge content library of videos from across different years or decades, in fact. Now, how do you leverage this content in an interesting form so as to cater to different kinds of fans that you want to engage with? Generative AI tools that can help you with editing and tagging of these videos can really maximize the amount of content you're able to publish, be it on your own website or let's say on social platforms as well. Moving to phase two, engagement of fans. Now that you have onboarded millions of fans, the next challenge is, how do you keep engaging this fan base day over day, week over week, month over month? Again, two or three very natural examples that come to mind. First, alternate streams. Let's say we have a universal feed of a certain broadcast that's coming in. Can we convert it into 10 different variations almost in real time? For example, could we have, let's say, a kids only version of the broadcast that is more cartoonized, that's more playful in nature to attract a younger audience base? Another example, personalized communications. We already witnessed this happening to a certain extent, but using very powerful generative AI tools, we can do this at massive scale with minimal effort, driving a lot more efficiency into the whole marketing automation at play. And finally, customized highlights. This is in line with an example that we saw in the previous phase of content maximization. Now imagine you are a fan of a certain player, and after the match is over, you specifically get a highlights reel belonging only to that player, which may not be the case of someone else who's a fan of a different player. So customized content, customized highlights that cater to your preferences, your needs, and your past behavioral patterns is something that generative AI can do at scale. Finally, phase three, monetization. How can generative AI help us in this regard? The first example could be personalized offers. Different categories of fans would want different kinds of benefits from the sports organization. Can we have the same website, the same owned asset, feature different kinds of offers to different segments of fans at the same time? Secondly, customized merchandise. Everyone wants to own a jersey of their favorite team or favorite club. But what if you as a fan could have a mid-journey kind of an experience where you design your own jersey on a broader common template and have it delivered specifically to you? Finally, sponsor integrations. Can we add a lot more value to the sponsor integrations by having real-time content, by having real-time plugins based on whatever is happening on the feed to deliver higher impact to the sponsors who have, let's say, pitched in to co-brand a content IP or a product IP on your own asset? Now that we've gone through all of these different examples, the next most important question for us to answer is that of prioritization. We can do countless number of things with GenAI, but how do we prioritize them in such a manner so as to ensure that we don't waste our effort? We could use this simple 2 cross 2 model to do that. On one dimension, we can look at the estimated impact. What is the maximum possible impact that this initiative can give us in due course of time? And secondly, how easy is it for us to implement it? Basis my own understanding, I was able to plot all of the 9 examples that we saw in the previous slides on this matrix. For example, personalized communication and SEO at scale to me seem to be in the sweet spot of having very high potential impact and also being rather easy to implement. Whereas on the other hand, something like customized merchandise is very easy to implement given the existing technology that's there for us to deploy. But can it really have the same impact as, let's say, that of personalized communication? Maybe not. Hope you found this video useful. Stay tuned for more.